Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. A warm welcome to all participants from Malaysia, the SEAMEO Network and affiliated countries to IMR-SEAMEO Webinar Series 2023. I'm Dr. Adiratna Ripen, Head of Primary Immunodeficiency Unit AIRC IMR, and I will be the moderator for today's session. Before we begin, allow me to announce a few housekeeping messages from the Secretariat. Participants may post their questions using the link shared in the YouTube channel. The questions and answer session will be conducted along the way. An attendance link is also provided for those who would like to receive an e-certificate of attendance. And please subscribe to our NIH Malaysia YouTube channel and click the notifications whenever there is a new post. Ladies and gentlemen, in conjunction with the 123rd anniversary of IMR, we are having a special session today with the theme 123 years of IMR beyond the fame, legacy, and recognitions. For today's session, instead of talking about research findings, we are going to have a different kind of sharing from our three prominent researchers who have been dedicated their lives for the well-being of others. We have with us today three prominent researchers that will talk about their ups and downs during their time as scientists, and hopefully this sharing will shed some light and hope to our researchers who are struggling with career, management, and daily duties as parent, spouse, among others. Before we begin, let us look at the video playback on our honorable guest invited for our special session today. It's our great privilege to have three prominent legends of IMR with us today. Let me introduce them. Dr. Lee Han Lim, who is the former head of the Medical Entomology Unit, Infectious Disease Research Center. He was the head from 1993 to 2018. Dr. Noor binti Abdullah, former head of Bioassay Unit, Herbal Medicine Research Center from 2001 to 2016. And Dr. Zubaidah Zakaria, the former head of Cancer Research Center from 2007 to 2019. Welcome to our special webinar session today. For your information, this is our first time organizing this kind of forum and engagement with our prominent researchers. We feel very honored to have three of you with us today. So before we go to something very serious, let's just have an ice-breaking session where maybe I'll ask Dr. Lee first. So How is your retirement, life now? How different is it? When you were a scientist, you were so busy, fieldworks and all. So are you enjoying your retirement?
Yeah, something like that. Now we have more time, more free time, but actually not really free time, no, because I still work partially. I mean part time lah, with some company lah to prevent a brain from being rusty. So, but generally I enjoy lah my retirement life, so I can do things I like to do, which I can't, like having some hobby,
Yes.
like walking my dog, my pet dog in the morning, which is a luxury for me lah. Where
So you
I
can
was
pick and
working.
choose what you want to do because it's your free time now,
Yeah,
right?
actually, but on the other hand, I'm also quite occupied. No, not only work but also in the household. For work, no. I'm still cook. Help my wife to cook. Still
Wow.
do the dishes. Do the dishes every day. So that is my duty lah, so called. So I have a different set of duty now.
Yeah. For the gentleman out there, let's take Dr. Lee as the role here, role model. Dr. Noreen, do you have anything to add?
Oh yeah, I enjoy after retirement. Not as much as I enjoy my working days, because working days they are more organized. So after I retire in 2016, I still come to IMR for lectures, the APNE lectures and some workshops on preparation of proposal, presentation, and how to write publication. So that continues until before the PKP, and then I still had last year 2022. So I enjoy it. So actually, my main task is sending my grandchildren to school. And so they come to my house in the morning. So in the afternoon, I send them to school. So those are the precious moments where I can talk to them because they are very busy. Even weekends, they go for classes. Yeah, they go to
Yes.
public speaking class, they go to music class, and then those are the time that I can speak to them.
I
So
see.
they are close to me. I also join piano class.
Oh,
Yes.
new thing. That means it's a new
It's
learning
something new,
process.
yes. So
Ah.
when I joined the piano class, everybody was very young.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody are very young. About I think the most majority are about 10 years old, 9, 8, all children. And I was 67 at that time. 2 years ago, he was 65. So the teacher asked me, why do I want to join? Do I want to perform on stage or write a song? So I said, no, I just want to kill my time. So I enjoy it.
So
So I'm in book 2 now.
oh,
Piano, yeah.
wow, that's
I
an
know where the fingers
achievement.
are.
Wow. Dr. Zubaidah, what about you?
For me, I've already retired for 4 years already, 2019. The first thing that I feel very relieved is not, you do not need to punch early in the morning.
Yes.
By 7:30, you should be in the Institute for Medical Research. You need to beat the jam.
Yes.
Those are the things that I think is something so different, being a retiree, and you don't have KPI
To worry about.
to worry about. You don't have SKTs to take. But yes, I think being a pathologist and also a researcher, I am willing to go for. I still sit for some conferences. If they invite me to become speaker, I still go, but very selective lah, And at the moment now, I still do some visiting pathology work, which you can just focus on small area of section that you like. So it's something that is, I think, give you more freedom, but in a way you are still be in the subject matter lah.
Yeah, that's what
in
I
this
can
area.
see from all of you. You are still contributing to the society,
Yeah.
still contributing to the research, world. So it doesn't end there as a
Yeah.
researcher,
Yeah.
right?
It's a new world
It's a
actually.
new world.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, I'm looking forward to
I
that.
do
as well.
gardening, Dr. Adi.
Gardening.
Yes.
All right. So okay. So probably for some of you, this is the first time for you to come and have a look at our complex. You have been part of the planning of this NIH complex. IMR labs and all. So how do you feel when you see the accomplishment, and how do you feel about this NIH complex? Maybe Dr. Zubaidah would like to start.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Adi. I've had the opportunity to come into this very esteemed building before I retire. I think about 6 months before I retire, I came with the whole institute, with the with the center, and it's something that is really something that you you have a huge building from Jalan Pahang to Stia Alam. I think it's something that everybody out there wish that they would want to be in this complex. So I think those who are already in the IMR, they must make full use of the facility, the technology, and I think this is the best time that everybody needs to collaborate and let the outside people know that we are of existence. Although 123 years is a long time, it's very long, how many decades. But now I think with the new facelift, I think, you have much to offer. IMR. Yeah.
Dr. Noreen, what about you? Do you feel like a nostalgia feeling when you come
Yes,
here?
we were involved. We were involved with the preparation. There was a lot of preparation, meeting with the engineers, architects. We were like them. We were like the architects and the engineers. And then when I first came here in 2019, I was amazed because I didn't imagine that the building is so huge like this. Because we prepared only for IMR. Yeah, each of the officer prepared only for, like I was in charge for the APNE schools, for unit bioassay. And when I came here, the first thing is to look at the space. Did I apply for this space last time? So it was very happy.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
I'm proud of what we have done.
Yeah, it is your baby
Yes,
project.
yes.
Dr. Lee, what about you? Anything to add?
Yes, I first came here in 2019, I think, just before the pandemic, for the DAP and E as an examiner. So the first time I came here, I get lost, in the building.
Yes.
I believe the staff also, they themselves get lost, because when I ask them, they say they also don't know where should I go. So just so they know how massive is this building.
Yes.
However, when I came here, it is so big and so wide and so many labs. So I believe definitely you can do a lot of things here compared with the old campus in Jalan Pahang. However, but that feeling of nostalgic is not there.
Still, Jalan Pahang is more nostalgic
Yeah.
because you spend more time there.
Yeah, and also it's classical. The buildings are really
Yeah.
colonial style and classical, and that is the origin of the IMR actually.
Yes, true.
So, even our museum is still there, So here, when we want to look back at IMR, we have to go back to Jalan Pahang.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, true.
But nevertheless, I'm happy to see we have all the modern laboratory,
Yes.
And I believe then people should make the best use of this.
Yes, true.
Because over there in the old campus in IMR, you always complain, not enough of space, not enough of facilities, and now you have plenty.
Yes.
I was told even excessive, some not occupied. So you see,
Yeah.
there's so much
Well,
a difference.
to the young researchers, when you hear about all this, when we had problems with space and equipment, with the current situation where we have all ample,
Everything is here now.
everything is here, I think there is no excuse for them to
Nothing,
not do any research. They should, take this opportunity
take this
to bring
opportunity.
this, forward. So, okay, so we have 2 questions so far, but I would like to remind the audience to write and send the questions through the link at the YouTube, and our panels will answer the questions from time to time. So please keep your questions coming. So. Right. So, Dr. Zubaidah, you mentioned about 123 years, right? IMR anniversary. So, you were part of this 123 years. How do you feel about, being part of this?
I would say there's no regret to be in the Institute for Medical Research. When I came in, I was as a medical officer at that time. And then later on, I pursued my postgraduate qualification in pathology. Then I came back and head the hematology unit, and then later on as the head of Cancer Research Center. I think to be part of the Institute for Medical Research, I never think about it when I was in the younger days, as a medical doctor. But when you are in the institute, you're able to see different perspective of just treating patient, for instance, in the hospital. So
And how you can change the
Yeah.
lives of the patients
by doing
research.
by doing research, you are able to collaborate with the clinician and help the patient. And the clinician, help the clinician to make better diagnosis, accurate diagnosis, fast diagnosis. So that is something very, is something that
You're proud of.
that the institute, be part of the institute, has contributed to the society lah, and the patient as a whole.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Understand. So, when you are a medical doctor,
Yes.
patients are
Yeah.
something that you like to
Yeah.
contribute to. So with the research, how it translated.
Yes,
So that's
translated
something
by
that
the-
you feel you have changed perhaps in
Yeah.
Malaysian
Yes.
scenario.
Yes.
Dr. Noreen, you were more into malaria research, yeah?
Yes.
So you have contributed so much, right?
Yeah.
So how do you feel?
Oh, when I was in IMR, in the beginning it was just a job that I landed, and then after that through working with the researcher at that time it was bahagian malaria and filariasis, yeah. So we go to a lot of field work. So actually, research in malaria and filariasis is field work. Yeah, that's where you get the samples. So when you go to the field and then you realize that their place is so far, deep inside, yeah, the villages. So that's why they got that malaria, because there's not urban disease. Yeah, malaria and filariasis, because the mosquitoes are there, and then to go to the hospital is not easy for them. Yeah, if we go inside, we were from town, example from Kota Marudu, to go to the junction, to go further inside to the village is 1 or 2 hours.
Yes.
To go to the village from that junction on the Madi Road is 3 hours. So when we first go there, so I was dressed nicely. I was dressed nicely with last time I wear skirts.
Okay.
Skirt, white shirt, everything with my RA. We dress very nicely, and then we go to this muddy road, and then when we get to the settlement, the Land Rover flip. So we have to get out from this side of the this side of the car, and then we get into the mud
Okay.
with my white shirt and my So that's the type of places that we went. Some of the people in Sabah or Sarawak also have not been to those places.
I mean,
So I was so proud that I went to those places and see for myself
yourself,
the people. So when I came back, I asked Dr. Lokman, "Did you go to this place?" He said, "No." He went to halfway. Oh, I'm so proud. I've gone beyond. Gone beyond to the place that he went.
So it was a good opportunity for
Yes,
you
it's
to
good
get there
opportunities.
and
If
to
you are
see
not
for real.
doing that, you wouldn't have gone to those places. And I did ask, I think it was not a question that I should ask to them. I said, why are you all staying here? Because the village, one house and then another house is so far away. For us, we carried a lot of things to that house and then we had to go another house, which is on another hill.
Wow.
But they talk through their house. No, they shout. No, these people are coming.
So that's actually my first time listening to all that.
Yeah.
And
So actually, I enjoy those things. So we bring the samples back. Sometimes the immediate processing of the samples are at the klinik kesihatan. So they like when we come.
I see.
So they said that we live to them because we all like to dress up to the field.
Some changes,
Some
different
changes.
things to
So
see.
when we go to the klinik kesihatan or the hospital, when the patient has gone into the hospital, so they say, "Oh, people from IMR come."
I
They come
that-
my RA.
Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. For me, we really don't go to that places,
Yes,
but
yes,
I mean, that must be something priceless for
yes,
you.
priceless.
Yeah. And Dr. Lee, you also had a lot of field trips, so maybe you want to share your any memorable ones.
Yeah, I think it is a privilege lah of working in IMR. Not many people realize that as though they come in take for granted. No, I'm in IMR, so what? But you must remember, no, IMR as a topic mentioned, it is a legacy actually. We are here, we are standing on the shoulders of the giants actually. The giants are the very famous scientists in the past.
Yes.
For example, IMR was the first to discover the cause of the beriberi, and the first to come up with control of malaria,
Yes.
control of the scrub typhus, And even we have a person like Volante, who was in IMR, although as a student, but later was the first Asian nominated for the Nobel Prize in 1936. These are the giants, so it is actually a honor and a privilege to be able to work in IMR. So I hope our young researchers must take it as an inspiration. And on top of that, working here is really a rewarding experience, like Dr. Noreen mentioned.
Yes.
My type of job is also always in the field, chasing the mosquito, chasing the flies, and of course we ourselves get chased by these insects. We being our staff had come down with malaria. Many of our staff when we go to the field,
Yeah.
even like very very remote area, you can't imagine like in Sabah, in like Bangi Island. I think not many people have been there, Bangi Island, and not many people know that Bangi Island is the largest island in Malaysia.
Oh.
So
I
there,
didn't know.
malaria, filariasis, any tropical diseases you can find is there.
There.
Wow.
So we went very deep in. I still remember very deep in. In one,
Bangi
they
Island.
call it the Orang Asli there. Very deep in. Nobody ever been there. This is the first time they saw a foreigner like us, so-called foreigner, but we are Malaysian, I say. So, but what surprised me was, I found a Coca-Cola shop there. That's how, so fantastic. The Coca-Cola, they're selling Coca-Cola there.
Yeah.
So I say, how much? They say, 5 ringgit.
At that time.
Yeah, so I say, why so expensive? They say, how difficult to bring in, no?
Yeah.
But nevertheless, then we saw, people really, came down with so many diseases, especially malaria and filariasis. I still remember, one native came down with both, malaria and
That is very
paralysis.
rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Mm.
So the guy is walking around like so normal. So when we say, give him the medication, he say, no, 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 your medicine no good. It made me sick.
I
You
see.
say, of course, because you take the medication, it will disturb the balance. They have been inside their body for so long. They are so used to it. So they coexist with the parasite.
I see.
Everybody is happy. But when you take the medication, you disrupt the balance. The fellow could become very sick. So, this type of experience really is an eye opener
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of this experience, I don't think we would have imagined unless we are there to experience
Yes,
itself.
of course.
Yeah. So now talking about all these memories, maybe let's look into yourself. What is your personal achievement that you think that you have done and you are proud of? Maybe I'll start with Dr. Zubaidah.
Okay, I would divide my achievement as as a pathologist, researcher in the institute, and as a mother and as a working mom, and also these two things lah. So as a personal achievement, I would say as after I graduate and be in the hospital after my housemanship and medical officer, I was posted to the National Blood Transfusion Center, and later on I said probably I should try to be in the Ministry of Health as an administrator. So I've been there. So I've been to the pediatric ward, I've been to the National Blood Transfusion Center, and then I've been to the administrative post. But in the administrative post, I was thinking I cannot, don't take these words of mine. I said, okay, 9 months is enough. I would like to go back to do stuff in the hospital. So at that time, there's Dr. Khalid Hassan, who goes to the Ministry of Health for meeting. So I met him, and I personally said to him that can you take me to be the medical officer in the Institute for Medical Research. So I came for interview. That time there's Datuk Jagatisan and a few others. So maybe at that time they said, okay, this candidate maybe is suitable because I wanted to do pathology that time. So I came in the institute quite early in 1992. So that time I think I progressed into getting my postgraduate qualification in pathology. So after I came back, somehow the position for the head of hematology was vacant. And they said, okay, so that time, I head hematology unit after my postgraduate qualification and progress until becoming Cancer Research Center head. And I think within that process, within that number of years I was in the institute, we have many research projects, many grants that we managed to pitch on. The earlier part was the IRPA grant, then later on we have got the NIH grant. I think towards the later bit of my career, it was there is
NIH
various
grant.
NIH grant and various sub clusters where I think Adi head the biomedical clusters, and I was heading that before I retire. So there are a lot of opportunity that time. I would see there's a personal development in that manner. So you grow as you as a young medical officer who enter Medical Institute of Medical Research, now become a very
Prominent researcher.
not prominent lah. I mean, you are there where you have the opportunity to be with the people who are of credible ranking in the academic, for instance, like the universities, and you meet people to collaborate into your research areas. So that
Actually, yes, it
is
is not easy from a medical
yes,
officers to
yes.
really think about research questions and
Research question.
to how to answer those
Yes.
questions.
So
So,
yeah. So
yeah.
I think medical officers when they come into the institute, they must have the passion to do research.
Yes.
Also, so I think the research career too. If you are a medical officer, you want to take public health, for instance, or you want to take pathology, for instance, and later on you just concentrate on doing research. And I would suggest the medical officer take up their whatever paper qualification they have, and do PhD, like what the scientist is doing. I think like Adi has got a PhD, which I think that bit, if I was to turn back time, I would want to do a PhD in my
More
career.
training on the
More
research.
training on the
Yeah.
research focus and how to answer research question and such. So I think the opportunity is there in the institute for the medical officers. I think for the researchers, for the scientists, they are more. They are more focused. Once they enter, they know what to do already.
Yes.
They go into doing their masters and then doing their PhD. So like the medical officers, they need to be guided lah.
Yeah, they will.
And I think as most of the previous director, they would want the medical officer also to be involved in the research.
Yes, true.
Maybe having a PhD is
Yes.
one of the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
Not
And-
only your paper qualification as your pakar lah.
Correct. So the research in medicine perhaps is a different angle that
Yeah.
medical doctors see
See.
from the research officers. So,
yes.
I mean, each of them will have different roles in research.
Yes.
Doctor, maybe I'll go to Dr. Noreen. Dr. Noreen, so do you have anything to add about your personal achievement?
My personal achievement is I joined IMR in 1982. So 1986, I further my study MSc. So at that time is I got scholarship from WHO. So my MSc was only for 1 year. It's at London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine. So after that, after coming back, I register for my PhD. So I do it very fast because not to lose the momentum. I register my PhD at University Malaya.
I
So,
see.
and then during my stay in IMR, I attended a lot of courses, trainings abroad. So this is a very good opportunity for you to learn from them, and then making friends from them, and those are the starting of collaborations, and they come back to you.
Yes.
And then they are very generous in SOPs, in helping to write papers, helping to go through your papers. So this is the advantage of collaboration actually.
An opportunity to
Opportunity.
learn new things. Yeah.
And then there's a lot of training that time. So I go to every training that is offered, I will ask. And fortunately, I got it.
Wonderful.
So I took this opportunity to learn more things and to be friends with them. And then when I come back, I still communicate with them.
So that's also how you keep the momentum and also keep the networking.
Yes, keep the
that for the future
networking.
collaboration.
Yes. So I suggest that the younger generation now, there's a lot of opportunity. We can show them what we can do, and they are very interested because they want to go beyond their laboratory also.
Yes, true. And okay, Dr. Lee, what about you? Anything to add? yourself?
Yeah, I think the main thing I achieved is to transform my unit. I mean, by introducing newer techniques and new innovation. I mean, because I notice our unit still follow the traditional type of research. So when I came in I think 78, I realized, need to change. And change for the better. And even need to train others, to accept the new method, new technologies, and even uh, like for example, even we had no idea about IPO, I mean intellectual property rights, patents, those were foreign to us, So these are the things, which I have changed, especially the mentality and the thinking of the researchers,
Yes.
And I believe this is how IMR should move to, I mean, should transform and reform maybe reformacy in the sense of changing the mentality, changing the direction, even changing the thinking of people, more towards the modern trend of research
Research.
and discovery, okay? And also to encourage purpose-driven research, I mean, what we call translational research or applied research or whatever. Make sure that your research findings are not getting dust in the shelf, but it can be used by the people outside, to control disease, to diagnose, for surveillance and so on. So what we say is, uh, that was the original aim of IMR actually, right? To find a solution through research to all
Yes.
the diseases.
With the latest tools, with
Yeah.
an easier tool, perhaps. Yeah.
Yes, through your finding. No. If you see your finding that can be used, I think that will be the biggest reward for researchers.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's how maybe perhaps you think that is, perhaps how IMR should stay relevant. So should go along with the flow as what other globally research. Is that what you're trying to say as well?
Yes. Well, you can summarize in one or two words. Do impactful research. Right.
Yes.
That's what I want to
Yeah.
say.
Yes, understand. Yeah.
Mm.
So we actually have questions from the audience, and so this questions to all panels. What are the challenges faced in Malaysia that may hinder our research from progressing further? So this question is from Mr. Terence from IMR. So maybe Dr. Noreen, would you like to start?
Yeah. I think in terms of the research conduct, our facility are as good as some of the other researchers in the like the places that I went, University of Tokyo, National Institute for Medical Research in London. They are about the same. Yeah, they are about the same. They do have high tech equipments, and we do also. We have plenty, right?
Yeah.
And then the challenges are more to. I have experienced one, so I got an approval for a collaboration with Menzies. Menzies Institute of Public Health in University of Darwin under APMON program. APMON is Asia Pacific Malaria Network. So I proposed a project and they accepted it.
Okay.
When they accepted it, before they send the money, they came to see my lab. Is it suitable to do what they want us to do? So they came to the lab and they said, it's okay. At that time, I showed them the ATC, Advanced Technology Center that we have in the old IMR building. So they agree because I have all the equipment at that time, enough to do the projects that I wanted to do. And then they came and they said they want to give me the money. But I have to send the proposal for our lawyer to read.
Oh, yes.
To approve for the money to come.
Yes.
And it takes long. 1 year, 2 years, and she go for maternity leave. I have to wait for her. And then after that, eventually, Dr. Lee signed for me. Then only we can move Remember? Then only we can move officially.
So the agreement process.
The
you're saying.
agreement process takes so
Yes,
long
took
because
so
we don't have many lawyer in
in
Kementerian
Ministry of Health.
Kesihatan.
Yes.
And then before going to the lawyers, we have to read and read again. You know, read and read again. You know, there's a guide to follow,
Yes.
send them.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
there are only very few of them. But that's why I said the conduct of the experiment, we are the same as them.
Correct.
So when I go to Menzies in University of Darwin in Australia, only the practice is different. The equipments, we also have good equipments. Some of the equipments we have.
Yes.
Some the practice is different. But the equipments are same. So when I go there, when I go to London School, when I go to Menzies, when I go to University of Tokyo, University of Nagasaki, I bring that culture back,
Research culture.
research culture back, you know,
Yes.
and I make them communicate with my officer. So they make friends.
Yes.
When they make friends, it's easier for me to send my staff over,
Yes.
and easier for them to come. So they
it's-
do the
it's
communication.
part of the networking that you
Yes,
want
it's
to
part
keep.
of the networking.
Wow.
But the culture is a bit different.
Yes.
Like a big building like this, what we did is we leave our handbag, telephone, everything in the front, and then you go yourself to your various labs. No telephone call, nothing.
So you can focus.
And you focus, and the hours finish just like that. You feel the hours is short.
So, but you get the hours worth of research work that
yes.
you do. Yeah.
You feel it. It's quickly finished for the whole day.
What about you, Dr. Zubaidah? Thank you very much, Dr. Noreen. Yeah.
Terence asked a question, challenges faced.
Challenges.
That may hinder our research, meaning that the first part of the research is already conducted, and then you want to progress further. The first thing I think is the budget lah. Our budget is always been divided among various clusters, right? So and sometimes your research, if you want to bring your research from bed to bedside, from bench to bedside, you need a lot of
bigger amount of
bigger
budget.
amount of and you need to pitch very you need to pitch very carefully or you know sometimes the administrator or the higher how to say the higher
Top management.
top management, you need to convince them lah, you know, that this project is worth to be funded, and put it across to the other side. So and there's a lot still the bureaucracy of putting our research into
Practice,
bedside
translation.
translational research is still on the how to say that our basic research is already there, quite strong, you
to
know.
bring forward to the next
To
stage.
bring forward to the next stage now is the task of the researchers in the IMR what to do. And now we need to convince the higher management that this is what we need to do. Like say stem cell research, we have got very strong foundation already on stem cell research. Now we want to bring it to the next stage. You need a lot of money, you need a lot of convincing to tell, you need a lot of regulatory demand that you need to meet and you really need to be persistent, resilient on the subject matter and move it forward.
And actually, we
the
may
team.
need the assistance as well for the regulatory
regulators,
side,
yes,
the documentation.
Yes.
Yeah.
All this take a lot of your time,
Yes.
and in between, researchers can become demotivated. So we must not make this to happen lah. I think
we must assist these researchers to bring
yes.
this into,
Yeah.
more maybe translational to the patient.
More
for example.
budget, more translational, more. I mean, the higher management needs to see this as very important lah, because in the IMR we have got different centers and they have got different focus kan.
Correct. Yeah.
So each focus might think, like myself, the Cancer Research Center is very important for me. The institute needs to focus on Cancer Research Center, but it cannot be because we are other centers that are within the IMR. And so last time we used to compete and say which center is the best, but we cannot do
We
that.
have to work together now.
We have
Yeah.
to work together, and we cannot work in silo. We need, but it's easier said than done. We need to break the wall, and in fact, the new institute here was designed by Datuk Maimunah last time to break the wall, so that everybody can talk in front, next door, left, right, center, no rooms, right, for the researcher now. So I'm not sure, but I hope the researcher now see the front person, the left, right,
Well,
and
we
they
do
talk.
see more collaboration now.
They talk to each other.
Yes.
Not like last time we used to go and put ourselves inside a room and no little collaboration.
Actually, more brains. We know that it's going to be more impactful, better research project. Yeah.
But I think with the new environment, new technology, I think world has changed towards more open discussion, more direct communication. You can complain about your boss also. Last time we cannot complain, our boss. Whatever the boss says, always right.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Zhu. Dr. Lee, do you have anything to add? Maybe just
Yeah, I do agree with Dr. Noreen, where our hardwares are even sometimes better than in other so-called advanced countries. For example, I remember in JICA, Japan, the JICA program, one expert told me, they saw so many, ELISA, reader in IMR than in Japan, So he said, this is fantastic. However, in the software part, that means human resources part, I think what we are lacking is quite a number of things on the human resources. As one past minister said, our researchers are having the CRC symptoms. CRC is not clinical research center, not clinical research center. The first C is comfortable, too comfortable. So they don't want to come out of their comfort zone. Okay. So you can never progress. The other R is reluctance. They are reluctant. For example, when being asked to do certain so-called difficult project, then nobody wants. So it's quite reluctant. And the third one, they want convenient. Whether this project is convenient for me, do I need to do overtime and so on. So these so-called CRC syndromes are actually pulling us down.
I see. So Dr. Lee thinks that it is more of that person's, the individual's, the CRC that's probably hindering you from progressing forward?
Yes, and it is a type of mentality. So we, especially the comfort zone, we are being too comfortable, because we know whether we work or we don't work, we still get a gaji. So why want to work so hard? That is one of the main problems we are having at the moment. So I ask the researcher to be more committed. You are very lucky actually. You are in the institute like IMR, and you should be dedicated. Your name, the name of your job is research officer. Therefore, do research. Okay.
Yes.
Not sitting around. Not be an armchair scientist and reading paper only and that's all. No. More than that. Okay.
Agree? Agree. Thank you, Dr. Lee, and thank you, Dr. Noor and Dr. Zubaidah. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to take a break to let our panels catch some breath, and for the audience to share with us the burning questions. Please keep coming. Yeah, so we will answer the questions later. So, okay, so with that, we are going to show a video. So this year, as you know, IMR is celebrating its 123 years as the Center of Excellence in Biomedical Research for Malaysia. So on the 19th of October, which was last week, we opened our doors to the public for them to engage with our scientists and understand the professions and significance in IMR. So this event was officiated by our Duli Yang Maha Mulia Sultan Selangor and Duli Yang Maha Mulia Tengku Permaisuri Selangor. So let's take a look at the playbacks from the event. welcome back with our panels in the studio. With us today is Dr. Lee, Dr. Noreen, and Dr. Zubaidah, who had served IMR for almost 4 decades. So 4 decades is such a long time. Yeah. So I'm sure Dr. Lee, Dr. Zu, and Dr. Noreen still have some unfinished business that you probably want your successor to continue. Could you share with us how you identify your successor to continue that important task? You know, how to train, how to identify, you think this person is the right person. You know, it is important for us researcher to also identify this. Yeah, maybe Dr. Zubaidah, can you start first?
Talking about successor and within your center or within the institute, we have the center head will definitely know who are the researchers that are doing commendable research throughout their career. So and in the institute we go by seniority. So we will, and it's easier in the IMR because there are courses like the talent grooming program where you identify your researchers, your own officer to become the next leaders or successors. So those are some of the courses that you can bring them, let them attend, and then identify these researchers. And most of these researchers, you can easily identify them because you have given them the liberty to head research project, for instance. So
And they carried the research well.
the research well. So you know that those who can lead a research project and can produce publication within the team, those are your selected successors lah. So it's quite the process takes a while, but ultimately when you leave, you know these are the people these are the officers that are able to move the thing, move whatever you inspired to the next stage lah, to carry on. And I think that's the way how you select.
So Zubaidah, you don't think that it's too difficult to identify?
No,
You'll be able to maybe along the way you probably already
along the
identified.
way you have already identified, and those officers, those are committed, they're passionate about their work. You can easily identify them, and so these are the people who more these people in the institute is better lah, but to be your successors is quite you can identify them quite easily.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Zu. Dr. Noreen, what about you?
I have a similar thought with Dr. Zubaidah. It's not difficult to find a successor. It's not difficult.
From your experience,
yes,
you will
yes,
see.
you'll see. I was asked to name my successor 2 years before the date of my retirement. So at that time, it was not difficult because I think all IMR research officers are well trained. Leadership, mentorship, a lot of training, a lot of workshop, a lot of syarahan, CME, that is conducted by IMR. And then all officers also have project. They have masters, they have PhD, so it's not difficult for me. They have conducted big project, so they know how to organize. They know how to do research management and research conduct. So the thing for me is to take the senior one.
So from there, you can also see their leadership, how they manage their research, and how they translate their research into output.
2 years before I retire, Dr. Muriza was is now the ketua unit.
Yeah, and now the manager.
Now the manager.
Manager
So he
of
moved forward. So I
NIH.
was very happy for that.
Yeah.
He knows.
Mm.
He knows. He knows that this is the responsibility that he has to take over from me. But I have successor for my research project.
Yes.
Yeah? The successor for my research project is the second senior person in that research team. So whenever I go to the field, any research analysis, everything he knows. He knows. So I was worried more about my project because audit questions, audit report, everything is very important. So I didn't want to have problem with that. So after I retire, so audit came to audit the project because I have few projects. It's all completed already, but only no final report sometimes. So Dr. Rizwan able to answer and don't have to call me to come to IMR. So I was very happy.
So Dr. Noor had a few successes.
A few and then not to say about being the head of Introm, the focal person for SEAMEO, the dean, and then the focal person for WHO Collaborating Center. All I have to name a successor. All have to be done officially, writing letters. So for the dean, it's easier for us, Dr. Lee. The deputy dean will take over. But for Introm and SEAMEO focal person, those are a lot of work. Actually, not many people like to do their work. It's really management. It's not research management. Asking for money, but when I find a successor to be head of Introm and to be the focal person for SEAMEO network, so I choose the dean of the APNE because the process, the work are similar. The communication with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Malaysia, the communication with Immigration Department, the communication with the bank, Islamic Development Bank. So it's same way of application of grant to get more money, to have more students from the Eastern Europe, from the from the Arab countries, and also the Mediterranean. So we need a mixture of people in the SEAMEO courses and also for the Introm courses. So that's a lot of work to get money.
Yes. Yes. Right. So for that management work, perhaps not many people
Not
would
many
like to
people.
do
Yes,
it.
yes.
We understand. But
Got a lot of letter writings.
yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Noor. Dr. Lee, you have a few probably successes, and you have also a good prominent successes as well, who has really been out there contributing in that area. So
Yes, like Dr. Noreen mentioned, I'm wearing many hats. I'm the head of the uni, head of WHO Collaborating Center. I was the dean of the DAP and school, and also the principal investigator in several big projects. So I must ensure the right people is heading the right job there. Otherwise, we could get into trouble. So I don't mind. I'm training them even years before I retire, because if they shine, I also shine. Shining.
yes.
So don't be afraid. Train them early. And ensure a smooth takeover. To make sure that everything goes on. As a plan. Even we are no more there. So to do that, we need to identify the right people for the right job, because some are very good at management,
Yes.
and some are very good at
Research.
technical and
Technical.
research capability.
Yes.
Like my Wubakir project, I got a big grant, millions of dollars, but fortunately or unfortunately, only 1 year before I retire. So that's why I push it to Dr. Nasri, who did a good job out of it, as you can see.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did a good job.
Yeah.
She did a wonderful job.
So
So
quite happy.
You
about
have
it.
had you have a few successful successors, so
Yes.
I'm sure I'm sure you're very glad
Yes,
with the
yes.
choice that you made, right?
Yes.
So actually, there's one question from the viewers. They would like to ask question about to Dr. Lee. So you are busy. You're wearing so many hats. You know, as you mentioned just now. So when do you find time to read?
Well, yeah, reading is very important, no, especially our type of job, no. We have to keep up with the latest trend, research, and they say lah, no, reading make a learned man, So I agree fully, like you will keep us abreast, of the latest development, in research and for our own knowledge as well. However, as I mentioned, now I'm wearing so many hats. I wear to 5 times.
Yes.
So the way I do it is when I will come very early in the morning and sacrifice some sleeping time lah. To come very early. The morning when nobody kacau me, lock in the room and read some heavy stuff, the technical papers, because that's the time our mind is very fresh.
Freshest in the morning.
Yes, we can absorb, a lot of heavy stuff like technical knowledge. Then after that, no time for me. Until the lunch, after lunch, I usually take a nap. Just before nap time, I will get and read, although it's a short time, about 10 minutes for me to read before I fall into sleep. After another reading time for me is to trade off my TV time now. No, in the evening when I reach home, to just before bedtime, read again. But this time I will read the very light stuff for my own enjoyment. Yeah.
So okay for the viewers out there. So Dr. Lee sacrificed his sleeping time, sacrificed his
TV time.
TV time.
maybe TV time, and maybe perhaps makan time also, perhaps, right? And then and also dividing the time for the heavy ones to be in the morning, and then the lighter ones at night. And also to keep your brain functioning, by reading, right? Yeah. So Dr. Noreen, do you have the same
Yes.
habit?
Yes, I arrived to the office at 6 o'clock also. 6:15, 6:30. So I always read at that time, but most of the time I prepare for lab work. Because I know there's meeting at 9 o'clock, 9:30. So I prepare what I wanted to do on that day in the beginning. Like tissue culture or cell culture, you can start in the morning and there's incubation for a few hours. So that's the best time for me. As for reading, I like to print my journal. I like to print the journal and I read in between times during the meeting. Sometimes meeting, we have to wait for the director to come. We have to wait for some people to walk in.
Masa, ya? Masa
Yes,
tu.
at that time. So at that time, you can read.
I have actually
Do that.
yeah. No, I have actually witnessed that when you're meeting with her. She's always reading. So okay,
So that is a good time actually because no people
see.
coming in and then you feel awake. And also weekends. Weekends is the time for me to write proposal. The writing proposal is weekend.
Wow.
And reading.
Wow. Okay.
But we have to read.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
For a message to the young generation, the young scientists, you like it or not, you have to read.
Have to read.
That is the first thing you have to read. Then only you have idea to write.
Yes, true. Thank you, Dr. Noreen,
Okay,
for your sharing. What about you, Dr. Zubaidah?
I would say mine. Because now, like Dr. Noreen was telling, she likes to print the journal beforehand. When I was at the initial part of my research stage, I would do that lah.
Yeah.
But after you move up into becoming the head of Cancer Research Center, what I would do, I would just, if the journal is on a subject matter, a particular subject matter, I would ask a few of the researchers yang in your team to have the publication ready for you, 5 years, maybe 3 years, and then
Present to you.
present to me. And if I don't have the time to read the full article, the abstract is good enough for you to do a brief, quick overview of what you are going to do.
Yeah.
So, and by having this kind of thing, I think, like Dr. Lee was telling, this knowledge is now is lifelong lah. You know, after you retire, you also you still need to
Yes.
to read, to
To
read up,
update
to
what's out there,
keep
what's the
abreast.
latest. Yeah.
But nowadays, because it's very easy, you just need the mobile phone and internet connection. You can press anything on that handphone of yours.
Yes.
And handphone is more valuable because you have got your bank, a transaction and everything inside. So
It's easy now, yeah.
Easy. Even if you are abroad, you can actually send images, WhatsApp, and things are very different from previously.
Yeah.
And if you say you got no time to read up, there's not so much of an excuse lah. I mean, everybody can read up, everybody can spend time to if you can spend time reading your WhatsApp messages, I'm sure you can read.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
you
Agree,
can download
yeah.
your abstract
Instead of reading
journal.
something else, why not
Yes,
read the
yes, in
journal?
between,
Yeah, in
yeah.
between.
Because sometimes when you are representing the director, for instance, some of the question that is posed in the say KPK meeting or minister meeting, it's not your expertise, you know, not your expert, but in by having the access to the tools and also with the help of the people around you in the institute, you are able to answer and able to give the correct and
Input. Yeah.
to the bosses.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr.
Inshallah.
Zubaidah. So we have questions to all panels. Do you think that the bureaucracy system now is much more complex as compared to your earlier time as a researcher? And can the complex bureaucracy now be the reason researcher feeling a bit overwhelmed? Who would like to start first? Dr. Liu? Maybe?
I would think so lah. I mean, you know, nowadays life is getting more complex compared with our time. You know, why life is simpler, and then when we do research, we just do research. Okay, we don't care bureaucracy and so on. No, but to answer briefly lah, no, there are ways to bypass it lah. No, if you work smart lah, you work smart. There are ways to bypass the bureaucracy. For example, no, make use of CRM. The clinical research Malaysia, like your agreement now, for example, you want to sign an agreement, you go to government legal advisor, it may take you ages to come back, which all never come back. So if you go to CRM, it only takes them 2 weeks, and also of course you pay about 2,000 ringgit.
Yeah.
Well, that is a price. You can actually come out the money from your grant actually. Within 2 weeks, you get your agreement ready without going through all the very complex process of getting it from your legal advisor. Just one way to overcome. I believe there are other mechanisms that help us to bypass all these so-called bureaucracy.
Perhaps it is also good for the researcher to discuss with the more senior ones. Maybe they will have some other ways of solving this. Perhaps.
But it must be the legal way lah.
Yes.
Don't go through the shortcut.
Yes. Whatever it is still legal. Yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you, Dr. Lee. And we have, we do not have so much time, but we can go for a few questions more. So, there's a question to Dr. Noor. Okay. Let's go back to your time in IMR. Could you share with us the most progressive time for you as a researcher during your service in IMR, and why? Meaning, maybe what they want to ask is, something at that time, whatever research you did, it was really smooth sailing, and why?
Yeah. It was after my PhD. Really, actually, I enjoy working as a researcher. And at that time, after my PhD, we have collaboration with JICA. So a lot of the Japanese researchers were with us, and they're really teaching us the technical thing. They're really teaching us, and we were able to do things that we were not. It was not possible for us to do before. It's like the the molecular biology, the calculation of primers. Those are all the basic things, and they teach us the traditional way. The traditional way of calculation. So now it's quite it's sometimes it's quite straightforward kan. Tapi the details of it, you must understand the
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 basic.
basic. That's how they teach us the basic. And then a lot of collaboration, and that makes you want to do your research. And then when I propose project, I was always successful. I was very happy. And with the project grant, I was able to employ a research assistant. And this research assistant eventually do their master and PhD. I had a good research assistant.
That's also very rewarding.
That
knowing
is
that.
rewarding.
Yes.
And I think I become more intellectual because they are good. You are talking with good people and discuss with good people, very intellectual people. So at one time in a year, I have 3 research projects. I was very happy to do what I was doing at that time. But towards the end, everybody in 2014, I started to write a lot of papers. It's not easy to write papers. If you have write papers before, it's like writing new. It's not easy.
Thank you, Dr. Noor.
But I managed.
Yeah.
But after I retire, I still see my staff writing papers 2016, 2018. So I was so happy because I left behind.
Yeah, you left behind a
left
good
behind,
legacy.
yes.
Yeah. Yes. Dr. Zubaidah, do you have anything to add?
What's the question again? Sorry.
The
I think Noreen has covered most of it.
the most progressive period maybe in your life. Yeah.
I think to get this, I've got 2 group of people in the center, the medical officer group and the scientist group. The medical officer, I would say the first thing when they come in to the center, the first thing I advise them is to do their specialty, pakar, become a specialist first, and later on move into doing something research project dan sebagainya. And most of the medical officers that come into the center during my time, many of them has become pathologists, hematopathologists, chemical pathologists. I think a handful of them. And some of them even transferred from the National Blood Transfusion Center, come to the institute, come to my center, become now they are
Prominent figures in the area.
in the area. And some of these people, some of the pathologists that just come out from the MPAP program, they are able to present. I'm so proud of this group of people.
So when was that, Dr. Zu?
Huh?
When was that period?
Period. I think these people maybe for the last 5 years or so. This group of medical officers that are very motivated. They are very forward thinking. They want to write papers. In fact, many of them has presented posters, write papers before they enter their specialist program. So they are very good,
Very active group,
group of people. And you can see these are the officers that can pursue well in their career, be in their university, respective university, or some of them can come back in the institute dan sebagainya. And the researchers, I would see many of them are very interested. I sokong 100% for them to pursue and do their masters or PhD. Whatever scholarship, if they cannot get scholarship, some of them are willing to pay their own. They get scholarship loan from MARA, whatever, and from the AIDB loan or something, And some of them came back with PhD, many of them. And I'm proud of them that they are they are scientists of a very high standard lah. And they are available in the institute. You don't need to look far. You just look at the Institute for Medical Research. I think there are many
Yes.
experts
Yeah.
in the various areas. You are able to handpick them from the Institute for Medical Research. I'm so proud of them. I've been out for years, but I can still see my paper and my name in 2023. I was surprised. So I say, oh, these are some of the things that I left behind, but they never forget me. So these are the things that I'm very you feel very
Grateful and
I'm
rewarding,
grateful
yeah.
to these people, and I thank them a lot. And this is it. I mean,
This is to show that you have been very inspirational for them.
I
you know?
hope I
Yeah,
can
so-
still continue to
Yeah.
be an inspiration to these young people. Stay motivated. Don't demotivate yourself. Don't feel overwhelmed.
Don't feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, I think the younger generation
Yeah.
a little bit overwhelmed. So, but mental health is important lah. Work,
Yeah.
life, and you need to just balance out
So
everything.
you being part of their inspiration. Do you have any inspirational figure yourself, Dr. Zul?
For me, yeah. Yeah, for me, when I was in the institute, I would like to be like, like the orator Professor Rahman Jamal or Professor Lulai Meng. These are the people I look up, or Professor Cheong Song King. And anytime now, even now, they are still contributing
They
to the
are.
society,
They
and
are
they are
very
able
big.
to talk, they are able to give lectures, and they are keeping abreast all the time. Sometimes I was telling Noren this morning, do you think 64, 67 is old?
No.
So I told Noren, maybe we should say we are still young lah. Because considering Tun M 98 is still able to think, we would say we are still able to contribute if need be. By the society, definitely we can contribute, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Zubaidah.
Yep.
There's one question for Dr. Lee. Okay. Okay, so this it's about what is the secret in dealing with ups and downs in your profession? How do you cope with failure or perhaps frustration? How?
Yeah, I think no such thing as all up, in
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
You always up and down. Even your research, no matter how good your proposal, how good your methods are, you still face failures, So first thing you must tell yourself, don't expect perfection. No, there are imperfection in everything we do. I'm as a researcher, no. And secondly, must have a realistic expectation lah. Don't make yourself overdo or overachieve. I want to get a Nobel Prize, for my project. And when you can't even go through the first step, you will feel so demotivated because there is a unrealistic target for yourself. So, but nevertheless, if you fail for the first time, try again. Try again, and it doesn't work the second time. Then you have to stop it. Like Albert Einstein said, if you keep repeating the same thing and expect a different result, that is insanity lah.
Yes.
So you got to sit down, find the problem, go through a troubleshooting, and try to find it. If you can't, ask for support, ask for help from others, maybe some other senior, more experienced people, So, and maybe after a while, you take a break, take a break. Maybe while taking a break, something may strike you as the solution to your problem.
Yeah.
So don't always too committed, overcommitted, and then you have a burnout syndrome. So these are the way I normally deal with
Taking a
failures.
break when you think that's, you should take a break, and perhaps the solution will come, in a while, or later. Maybe not now, maybe later.
Yes,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. So we have one last question. Yeah. So this is the question for all of you. When we came up with ideas for this forum, discussing with the legends of IMR, the three of you, the names came up instantly. Right? So that shows that you have proven your credibility as a great scientist in your time. People look up to you. Could you share with us the recipe to be a successful researcher? Let's start with Dr. Noreen.
Okay. I think the first thing is that you must enjoy doing what you are doing. You must enjoy doing what you're doing. And I enjoy teaching people. So when we have new officers, new researchers coming to the department, the unit, so I hold hands with them. Meaning I
Don't
start.
leave them alone.
No,
Hold
no,
hands.
you hold hands. And then start with research management, which is how to write a proposal, how to present, and how to handle the files, where and go where. So that is management is quite easy for them to remember,
But very important.
but very important. But in the lab, for the research conduct, I sit with them. I really hold hands with them. I sit with them because they know the basic good laboratory practice. That's a very important to know. And then good laboratory practice, and then follow guideline, SOP, and research notebook is important. I have created one research notebook, the blue one.
Yeah.
Remember at the
I have
NTC?
one for
You have
myself,
one? I think maybe still there.
Yes.
So everyone has research notebook. So when they want to go to the lab in the morning, I have to check their research notebook, and I want to see what they're going to do on that day. And then I will check with him or her how to calculate, check the calculation, check the cycling, or check everything. So sit down together and do. So that is the practice of a young officer, so that they know where to start. They have their foot already. So to make them confident.
And yes.
So
very
as they go
important.
senior,
They'll
that
do the
practice
same.
is already there. That practice is already there. And what I need to do is to review the research finding and discuss and meet at a research meeting. That's all. Because the conduct of the research, the practice, I've already taught them.
So you trust them with
I
that.
trust them
Yeah.
because I hold their hands.
I see.
So for the senior officers, I don't hold their hands anymore, but follow them closely because scared if they go off tangent.
Thank you, Dr. Noreen.
Okay.
Dr. Lee, what about you?
Yeah, I get my inspiration from reading IMR history.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, okay.
Really, whenever I want to get inspired, then I will go to the 50 years
100 years.
celebration.
You know, your
75
name
years.
will be part of the history.
Yeah. I'm already history.
Yeah.
I think. So, nevertheless, really, this give us inspiration. How these people can do so much of those days with the minimum tools and minimum equipment. That is really a fantastic story of IMR. No.
Yeah.
So that's the best inspiration now. We have keep push her moving towards us. No, like them. Okay, like them.
Yes.
And I think a good scientist also must be a bit crazy, lah. No, no, they must have-
Unique.
yeah, crazy idea, so-called crazy idea, but which turned out to be very
Fantastic.
project and maybe very good outcome. No, for this project.
Yeah.
So I remember, I don't know where I got the drive from. I remember, in the record I have out of publication in 1 year. I got 22 papers.
Oh, wow.
I don't know where I got
1
the
year.
drive from. Okay, but they really my record. I think today I'm still keeping the record.
Great.
So
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so those are the things lah. No, that we need to inspire lah. I mean,
Yeah.
from the past achievement of IMR. No. So really this a great institute lah. No, I hope we still keep it on lah. No,
Yeah.
We can feel
Ah.
your love with the institute here.
Yes.
I mean, yeah,
this
you
is
know.
always in our heart lah.
Wow.
But I think currently the research officers publish in very high impact journal in IMR.
They are also doing very
Yes,
well.
they are
well.
very well now because I follow some of the publication.
Yep.
Oh, they are very good. Because when I wanted to teach for how to write publication, so I looked through. Oh, they are good already.
Yes, yes,
They publish in high impact journal.
yes, agree.
So don't worry, the researchers out there, you
Yeah.
are good.
Yeah.
You are good.
Be more confident.
Yeah.
Be more confident.
So actually, we are short of time, but we can maybe just last words, encouraging words to the researcher out there. Maybe 10 seconds for one. Maybe start with Dr. Zubaidah.
Okay. Be passionate on the whatever you're doing now. Be passionate on your research. Be resilient even you fail to achieve, say, a grant or whatever. And inshallah, you become somebody well known in future. So just remain to be passionate in whatever you are doing currently, and be thankful that you are in this Institute for Medical Research. The complex is wonderful, well equipped, and you know you are exposed to many research grants, whether locally or internationally.
Opportunities,
The
yeah.
opportunity is there, so just keep moving and
Keep the momentum
on, and never go, never feel down. Inshallah.
Don't feel overwhelmed.
Thank you, Dr. Zul.
Okay.
What about you, Dr.
Yeah.
Noor?
Yes, to all researchers out there, I wish you luck, very much luck, and you start writing early. If you don't have a proposal yet, start writing. Be the principal investigator of project, and then start writing early because that's very important. As a researcher, a publication is your bread and butter.
Yeah.
You have to, or else you are not known.
Yeah.
And
You
you're
are not known.
supposed to report whatever the
Yes,
findings
yes.
because you already receive money for the
Yes,
grant, so you
yes.
must give back in terms of publication. But when you doing the experiment in the lab, be very accurate. Be very accurate, almost near to perfection, and no mistakes. That is very important. That's why you have to do a lot of preparation before you enter the lab, because the consequences of failure is very great. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, thank
Cause.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, cost. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause,
Yes. Dr. Lee?
Yeah, I think for the researcher and continue doing what you are doing because you are paid to do the job. So, and also for the head, for all the heads of the uni, head of centers, be lead by example. Okay, we must ourselves as a head must also have our own project. Not to say that when you are the head, you know don't do project. So you must also be a researcher as well. You know, continue to do the research as an example. No, to those under you.
Yes,
So
agree.
that way they have no excuse not to do research.
Yes, agreed. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much to all our panels. So
Thank you.
we hope that our forum session today has shed light on the experience, achievement, ups and downs that our panel speakers have gone through during their service in IMR. And this would spark interest and motivation to our current young researchers, not just IMR, maybe any researchers out there, to continue their journey in scientific research. I would like to thank all participants for their support to make this session successful. And don't forget to subscribe to our NIH Malaysia YouTube channel. We have also many exciting webinars planned for next year, so always stay tuned for updates from us. Before we end the session, we would like to extend our invitation to all of you to join Spinal Muscular Atrophy SMA Fun Run, jointly organized by IMR, Persatuan Penyelidik Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia, and Majlis Bandaraya Shah Alam on the 10th of December 2023, which is a Sunday. More information about the fun run will be shared at the end of this session. Until then, many thanks from all of us in IMR. Take care and stay safe.